Hello, it's Michael Watts here, and I recently had a very nice time indeed at the School of Musical Instrument Crafts at Newark College, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. The School of Musical Instrument Crafts at Newark College celebrates its 50th anniversary this year, which is a spectacular achievement, and I was invited to come and join the festivities. I was invited to visit the workshop and meet the faculty and students from the guitar making school, many of whom were graduating this year. We then had an appraisal session workshop thing. I don't really know what to call it. Basically, it involved me sitting on stage in a chair, and next to me there was another chair, and the students would take it in turns to come and sit next to me, give me one or more of their instruments, and I would play it a bit and talk through some of the things that I'd noticed. I guess a sort of acoustic Santa's grotto kind of vibe. Either way, huge amount of fun. And here are some of the instruments that I looked at. Right, let's kick off with two guitars from Dermot Randall. Very lovely rounded body shapes, very European. One might almost say Irish in influence. Some interesting woods going on here as well. Bit of cedar, bit of pommel sapelli. Very nice indeed. I really enjoyed playing these two. And as you can see, Dermot was particularly concerned by my explanation of the importance of scale length. I think that's what's happening here. I don't think I'm just having an impromptu rave. And in this picture we can also see some influence from Tom Sands, of course, with a copper rosette. Ethan Hartsoe had made this beautiful instrument entirely out of mahogany. He was originally inspired by the Taylor American Dream series, although he'd also put a belly chamfer on the back. Really lovely, lively instrument. I'm a sucker for all mahogany guitars at the best of times, and it was really great to hear Ethan play this as part of a folk band later that evening. Italian student Luca Bossetta was inspired by bees for this crossover nylon string guitar, and we see all sorts of dark and light colours, chiaroscuro even. Two different woods in the soundboard. Very interesting approach there. We have a sort of a semicircular sound hole and a port there in the shoulder, as well as a sort of palm away cutaway. This reminded me of other instruments that I have seen using two woods in the soundboard. Let's see, Harry Fleischman, Howard Klepper, all that sort of thing. Really fascinating stuff. And a particularly elegant slotted headstock, kind of flying V. I really enjoyed that. Here is Ash DeLapp with a really lovely cutaway steel string guitar that also features, get this, sympathetic resonating strings that run through channels in the neck itself. You can see them more clearly through the sound hole. Now, they are accessed through a door in the back of the guitar, so you can change them should you need to. I have played instruments with sympathetic resonating things in them on several occasions, guitars by Linda Manza or Fred Coulson. I really enjoyed Ash's approach, in particular his colour-coded tuning pegs, which made the system almost idiot-proof until I came along. Thank you very much, Ash. Isaac Finch made this beautiful 12-string in steamed pearwood and spruce, and if that wasn't wonderful enough, well, he had strung it with silk and steel strings, so it wasn't an in-your-face, brash, massive 12-string sound. It was delicate and subtle, almost like a harpsichord. Still plenty of volume, but really smooth, and I really enjoyed this one. It also had a sound port in the low bout treble side, because, why not? Now, when Nick Pearson walked on stage with this gorgeous 10-string Narciso Yepes-style classical guitar, I must admit my initial thoughts were, oh, shock me gently. What am I going to do on this? As it turned out, I was really grateful that no recording took place that day because I did a dire version of one of my favourite Brazilian pieces by the great Baden-Powell. Probably the worst playing that this instrument is ever going to see. Now, for the curious amongst you, we're actually dealing with another approach to sympathetic resonance. You're not actually supposed to play all these strings all the time, and in fact, trying to play a bar A chord on this instrument or others like it would hospitalise even the mightiest of players, I'm fairly sure. But what a thrill. Robert Ward's studies of ergonomics in the guitar had led him to this fascinating angled back design for his crossover nylon string instrument. He'd also included this hand-carved magnetic sound hole cover for those quieter moments at home. Very ingenious. This is a really lively guitar that I can imagine sounding fantastic in the mix for bossa nova and jazz. Sean Bamford had risen to the challenge of pushing the boundaries with this multi-scale 8-string guitar. Now, it may surprise you, my comfort zone is not that, so I elected to play this beautiful non-fan-fret 6-string guitar by Sean in the concert that evening, and I really enjoyed it. Maple on the back and sides, shallow body, really immediate and detailed sound. I really enjoyed playing this Archtop by Joe Verco. It's based on a turn of the 20th century Gibson, but it has little flourishes that hark back to the Archtop guitar's roots as a member of the violin family, and that includes violin beveling all the way around the rims. Another lovely touch was this DeQuisto-style chopstick adjustable bridge, and a very clean headstock indeed. Good work there. When I arrived in Newark, I was not expecting to have to say the words, "I've never seen this before." And then Chris Snow walked onto the stage with this instrument. What you're seeing here is a teardrop-shaped sound hole right in the middle of the lower bout, right in the sweet spot, a tailpiece that anchors the string ends from above and sends them under the soundboard itself, over the bridge and saddle, which bisect the sound hole. Amazing. I have never seen that before. A lot of people have seen this on Instagram. It's caused a bit of a commotion there already. How does it sound? It sounds surprisingly like a guitar. It was nice. I really enjoyed it. Finally, I had also brought with me this guitar, my MDW signature model by Jason Costell out in Phoenix, Arizona. The reason for this is that I know that a lot of the students had seen it online, but there's no substitute for personal experience. I didn't want it to be just some mythical thing out there on the internet, so I encouraged them to take a look, get a mirror inside it, appreciate every single detail. Jason Costell was an instructor at the Roberto Venn School of Luthery in Phoenix as well. His work continues to inspire students of guitar making and professional luthiers and musicians all over the world. It's such a wonderful instrument, and I wanted to share it with the students. Having finished this session, we packed everything up and moved through to a beautiful church just round the corner where the evening's concert was to take place. It was at this point that it was confirmed to me that there was absolutely no amplification that evening. It was going to be entirely unplugged, something that I haven't done for many years. Exciting, though. And let's face it, churches often have amazing acoustics, and that's exactly what I experienced here. To begin with, I was tempted to dig in a little harder, try and get more volume out of these guitars, but it really wasn't necessary, and that was a relief because there's a trade-off, isn't there, between volume and nuance often, and I don't really like digging in that much. I play quite softly generally, and yet every single note hit the back of the room. I'm very grateful for that. I'm particularly grateful to the audience who were incredibly quiet throughout and incredibly loud in their applause afterwards. I've got to admit that that hit me quite hard. It's been, for obvious reasons, it's been a while since any of us has played live, and it's also been a while since I had an audience where I played entirely unplugged too. So the contrast between the volume of applause and the volume of the performance was really quite marked. It was it was very moving. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. So despite the fact that due to absolute chaos on the motorway, traffic jams, accidents, lane closures, you name it, what should have been a 3.5-hour journey home took me close to 7 hours. I got back absolutely euphoric, just thrilled to have been invited to take part. And I even got, a shiny programme. People don't make shiny programmes anymore. What a lovely souvenir of a fantastic day. Thank you very much to the faculty and students at Newark College. It was a pleasure to join you and play these beautiful guitars, and it is so good to know that this kind of inventiveness and forward thinking in guitar making is being actively encouraged. So keep up the good work, guys. And thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay tuned.